Da-da, da-da.
Hello. Oh, yeah, I need an intro song.
I can't help it. Every time you count down, my brain
Yeah,
goes
iCarly.
iCarly.
We should play it for him. We get copyright struck for that.
Probably.
Yeah.
We can do a cover of it, and then I think we won't get copyright against us.
Like
Yeah.
50% off splash free.
Yeah, we all just
Yeah.
we all sing one part of it. Alrighty, well,
Alright.
welcome to the final book club for The Fallen Empire. The final book club for The Final Empire. Haha.
Aha.
Now it's the Fallen Empire. Ayo.
Ayo.
Ayo, finally.
So we read part 4, part 5, and the epilogue, which is what, like one chapter, I think.
Mhm.
Yes.
So, yeah, that was part 1 of the Mistborn trilogy part 1 of the first Mistborn trilogy. I guess we'll start off from where we left off, on chapter 26, which is the first
Yes.
chapter of part 4. So, I actually don't remember where we left off. Oh, yeah, so we saw, Menace was like, yo, I got the bags for everyone, and then, okay, they're regrouping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The entire army essentially
Got
got
wiped.
decimated because my boy Yedin was stupid as fuck.
Yeah. Leroy
and took them out.
Jenkins.
He literally Leroy Jenkins did.
Yeah.
But he did it to the whole army.
Yes. He made the whole army do that. Alright, so now they're trying to rebuild. Okay, it's something about public executions. I think they're just publicly executing some random ska people in the town square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As like a retribution for the rebellion, essentially.
Yeah, and then they see Vin's father, who's one of the
he is the Lord
Prelan,
Prelan
whatever.
of the
Is Prelan a word? Is that like an actual
of
word
the
that's used in
obligators
like churches and stuff?
I think
not in my church.
prelate is a word. It's like a
What is a
high-ranking. But I don't know.
according to the
No.
internet, it is not a real word. It's made up.
Yeah, I'm only getting
fantasy word. Let's go.
Yeah, I literally got
Yeah.
Mistborn Wiki as like my first thing, and like
Prelate exists though. The word prelate with a P-R-E-L-A-T.
Yeah, as a Catholic thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So
So it's like
similar.
kind of real, but yeah.
Or like based off of a real thing.
Yeah. But also, just like the excerpt from the Lord Ruler's diaries is what I'm calling them from now on. Was like the I am growing so very tired. You know,
Yeah,
I was like,
same.
oh, his fall. I was like, his fall has begun, and I was like, I feel you, bro.
Yeah, that one was spooky. It's ominous.
Yeah.
During the public executions, when they're literally chopping heads off like into the fountain, I'm like, that is disgusting and cannot be hygienic. And I was like, it sounds like you catch a transmissible disease.
That's metal as fuck, though. That's metal as fuck. You know,
the
mountains runneth red with the blood of the masses.
That's disgusting.
He's getting his point across, you know. Yeah, and it was literally it was also only women and children specifically that he was murdering.
Brutal.
I was like, Ruler really is Voldemort, and then I did Q Imperial March. I know two separate
Wham, 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 wham.
Yeah. We also find out there that the Lord Prelon is a higher rank than the Steel Inquisitors, which becomes an important fact later.
because it's like the something Inquisition versus the something Ministry.
Yeah,
or the Ministry of the Canton of the Inquisition.
Canton of
Inquisition.
And Canton of Orthodoxy?
Of Orthodoxy.
Yeah.
So it's like religion rules over the like the people who I don't know, do the punishments, I guess.
But he's human and does not have spikes in his eyes.
Yeah, I wonder why then the Lord Ruler. I mean, I forget if he explains why.
I think it's because like he's like super noble blood, something like that. The Lord Prelan.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like super pure lineage.
Yeah. But I like how, I mean, eventually we'll find out why that's important.
Like in this book, you mean, or
They
like?
yeah, and this not in this book,
Oh,
like in other chapters.
yes,
Yeah.
they did explain.
Oh, Pete's here. Hi, Pete.
Hello, Pete.
Hello.
Hey, yo.
Hey, Pete.
Hope you don't ever want to read this book.
All right, so that was chapter 26. Anything else important that happened?
They
No,
decide to
but
continue the job.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
continue.
true.
Kel makes them all watch essentially, so that they see why they need to continue, and they're all convinced. And a part of me is, and like Kel explains, like it was never about stealing that. That was just his hook to get them in. It was always about revenge.
Yeah.
And also, like, helping Ska.
Yeah. On the side. On the side. That's like a bonus.
A lot about revenge. As all good protagonists.
So the chapter 27, I don't have the book open with me right now, but it said something about the piercings of the hero. That's the diary. Maybe from the diary entry or from like we see Rin reading a diary entry. And I was like, oh, what's the piercings of the hero? Like, do they get like cool ceremonial piercings or something? I don't know.
Wait, what?
Unless I was
yeah. It's in the like
the blurb.
Yeah, the excerpt. It says, "I think I've finally discovered why Rashek resents me so much. He does not believe that an outsider such as I, a foreigner, could possibly be the hero of ages. He believes that I have somehow tricked the philosophers, that I wear the piercings of the hero unjustly."
Oh, so he has some piercings of the hero. I wonder if that meant he had them already and that's how they knew that he was supposed to be the hero, or if like he got the piercings because he is the hero. I'm not sure which happened first.
I assumed that they were given because it's a terrorist, like piercings are a terrorist thing.
Okay.
A terrorist thing, yeah, and like piercings like it's like cultural for them.
And wait, we know why that it's a terrorist thing, right? It's because they can store metals in it. I think they told us that earlier. Right? We talked about the
with their
Ferrucemi, Allomanfredo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, yo, the Terraspin sounds so cool now, because remember how we were talking about whether we want to be like an Allomancer or a Feruchemist? Now I'm kind of leaning towards like Feruchemy, because you get like cool piercings and like you can wear all these like metal accessories. You just look
get to look cool.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're into cloaks, then you might want to be
and they do go into more of, in this chapter specifically, like more into Feruchemy and like what it is. It's like and why it's different than Allomancy. And it's like it's only for internal powers essentially, but you have a lot more things you can do with it because of that. Like you could enhance like attributes and not just like more than just strength essentially. And your like senses or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like you have more like versatility of what you can affect, because Allomancy is specifically like you got these 10 metals and those are the 10 things you could do. If you're a Mistborn, you can do all of them,
Yeah.
You got more versatility, I guess, as a Feruchemist.
Yeah, it's just you have to have a lot more prep time. It's like real Batman.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta preload your spell slots.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Man, all right, I gotta get back into Baldur's Gate 3 now. Maybe I should do a stream on that, because I'm still somewhere in Act 3. I'm pretty sure I'm very close to just like storming the final boss, but I've been just like effing around and doing all the side quests that I'm prolonging everything.
I mean, that's what Baldur's Gate 3 is for.
I know.
Right?
We should
to do all of that.
do a multiplayer one. That would be so. Even if it only lasts one session, I feel like it'd still be really fun. See how far
I still never started the game, so I might as well.
Oh my god! I thought you made your character.
I did, and I logged in, or not logged, but like I like went into the game. I spent but I did the character creation for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's okay.
And then I was and then I was so tired after. I only played for 5 minutes and got off.
Dang. All right, so if we ever play for stream, we should all make our characters beforehand, and then when we're ready to start the game.
Oh yeah.
We can
unless people on stream just want to see
us do
futzing around with like a bunch of different like sliders.
Oh my god. And accidentally making a character and then wanting to like exit out again. All right. What else is there? Oh yeah, Kelsier said, "Don't worry about the Lord Ruler. The 11th metal will take care of him." And then I wrote, "My brain is churning, just trying to figure out what it was." But then later on, when like it shows you what it is, yes, in a way, it did take care. That's spoiler. It does take care of the Lord Ruler, but I'm just like, I don't know if Kelsier knew what it does either, which he never figured it out.
No, he didn't. He said he didn't. He just it was all like just confident assumption.
But he clearly burned. He burned the 11th metal before, right? Because how else would he know that it would take care of him? Did we?
I don't think he burned it.
He never burned it.
Never burned it. He never burned it.
He tried burning it. Yeah,
he tried burning it, but it didn't do anything, or like do anything that he could tell. Because you need to be
probably because he burned it alone, and
yeah.
Oh, okay. Did he mention that? Oh, hello, Shiro.
Yeah. He said like I'm still haven't figured it out. Like I tried burning it, but I couldn't figure it out. Nothing happened that I could tell. Is basically what he said.
Oh, okay. I forgot where and when he was.
But the reason why he said like it'll take care of him is because I genuinely think it's just he just had very strong assumptions. If you read the 11th metal, you'll also understand more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think he was just like, this must be the key. I guess we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah, because the 11th metal literally explains how Cal learned about the 11th metal.
Oh, okay. So I do need to finish that this week. All right. What else in 27?
In this chapter, she tries gold.
Oh,
yeah. She finally tries gold, the 9th metal, and it lets you see versions of yourself.
That's crazy. And I also said it sounds like a bad trip that makes you have an existential crisis.
Yeah, basically. And she has she has like a hangover after. She has to like recover emotionally.
Also, we learn Kel's teacher's name for the first time, which you also see in the 11th metal.
Yeah, what's his name? Starts with a G. I got that far.
Gemmel.
Gemmel. I want to say like Gimli or something.
He mentioned that before in like the beginning.
He mentioned his teacher, but I think this was when the first time he mentioned his name. Yeah, he mentioned like his teacher was like a crazy old guy. In the past.
I mean, from what I read so far in it, yeah, he does seem a little loony.
But also, we apparently they finished the journal, and there was no allomancy at all in any of the in it, which I makes sense at the end of the story why there wouldn't be.
All right, what else?
We see Marsh again.
Marsh, yep.
They do their little meetup with Marsh. You know, he's like A1 student apparently in the obligator school. They love him. And we also learn
I like how he was like, I was not trying that hard and I accidentally was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, I was trying to be secret, but then like everyone else is just dumb as fuck.
Like honestly, what a slay. Like that was so good. He was like, yeah, I was trying to be like really undercover, but I was just like, I'm so good, I can't even help it.
He role played too hard.
Oh my god. He's LARPing. He's committed to the bit, honestly. He's super committed. So he said he tattooed himself with the Inquisitor face markings, and I was like, wouldn't that take hours? Oh my god, like how do you tattoo yourself?
He's committed to the bit.
I mean, I think you get I guess.
No, he said he did it himself
to
had to blend
before,
in.
Yeah.
I was like,
whoa. He's supposed to be like already an obligator just from a different dominance or whatever.
Yeah.
This guy is super committed.
And like in this time period, they like don't have actual technology.
Yeah,
so
it's
that
like a
was
needle.
Like stick and poke, probably.
Oh god.
Yeah, probably.
That's disgusting.
Which like having experienced it.
Not fun.
Which is impressive.
Especially because of the amount of tattoos I'm assuming on their face. Because it has to be a decent amount too. So that would have taken forever.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like he had like a boat that like took him to wherever he needed. So he basically had the whole boat ride to tattoo himself, and I guess somehow looked slightly normal by the time he gets off the boat.
Yeah, to recover.
Yeah, imagine his face just like swollen as he gets off. But, like, guys, don't worry, I had an allergic reaction. I'm good.
Yeah.
I ate some peanuts. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, his weakness is peanuts. Headcanon.
But we also find out about the soothing stations in this
chapter. Just constant depression. Like like being caused to the sky. I'm like, bro, there must be some soothing stations in New York. I don't know.
Yeah.
There must be some soothing stations.
This is all right. This is 28, right? Or is it still?
Yeah.
Oh no,
also, we
Marsh,
learn
Marsh is talking
end of
about the
27,
soothing stations.
Soothing stations. So we learn about that, and then also he believes that all Inquisitors used to be Mistborn. I assume that was the case, just based off of what we saw from them, but it's like a kind of a confirmation of it.
Are they all male too? I think they mentioned that, right? The Inquisitors and the what are the other ones?
I don't think they mentioned it, but it just has been that way.
Yeah, it just has been that way. Yeah, I don't think it's they said specifically they have to be all male, but all the ones we've met so far were men.
They have been. Yeah.
Very, very large men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intimidatingly large.
Start large, or if
they get
the process
large.
makes them large. You know,
without spoiling, I think you get larger like when you become one.
I mean, makes sense.
Based on what happened later on, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
All right, so 28 is Vin's at another ball again, and Lady Cliss, the chismosa girl around here, is like trying to get the fake rumors out of Vin, and Vin's like being kind of like, oh, like you know, you don't want to like, you want to know about this, and it's like the fake rumor, and Lady's like, what did she say? Yeah, and then she says, you know that you can trust me, and I'm like, oh, this lying bitch, oh my god, she's not even trying.
Yeah. So she makes up a lie about what house Hastings that they're leaving to sow some more suspicion.
And then, oh yeah, Ellen says something about secret income. Oh, what were we gonna say about Cliss or Vin?
Oh no, I was gonna talk about Ellen too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the secret income. I'm like, drug deals, but we find out about that later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well we find out in this chapter that they are the suppliers.
Yeah, they mention in this chapter that they mine the adium.
Oh, okay, I didn't even mention that. I think I just like saw that. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense.
So they were like the slave owners of Kelsier.
Yeah, and Vin's like, yeah, maybe he's still good, possibly.
Yeah. But also in this, when they meet, Ellen asks to kiss Vin.
Yeah, that was cute.
Hey, yo, little shawty, let me give you a kiss, you know.
But I think she said no, right?
She said no. She said no.
My girl standing her ground.
You know, Ellen was trying to riz her up.
So I like this part where Vin asked him, what would he do if he was in charge, and he says, quote, I don't know. I'm pretty certain, however, that beheading people won't solve anything. And I was like, wow, give this man a gold star and some claps. He figured out the basics of, proper government.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what I would do, but I wouldn't do this terrible thing. Well, okay. The lesser of two evils, I guess.
Yes. And then he winks at her. Wow. I forget if that was before or after the kiss, because I didn't mention anything about that.
It's as he's leaving, I think.
Yeah, and then we get Ellen POV for the rest of the chapter.
Yes. We meet Tensoon, the Venture House's Kandra, at like Renault. And he's just talking with the boys, talking about philosophy and things.
He was also thinking to himself, like, oh, maybe I should spruce myself up and I'll be more appealing to Valette. I'm like, wow, this guy, what a simp.
Yeah, he's got it bad. I mean, do you blame him though?
No, Vin's pretty like badass.
Yeah. She probably like exudes badassness even if she doesn't want to.
Yeah, she got good aura.
She's a rebel just like him, quote unquote. He ain't exactly a rebel.
But my boy, his boy, Jess, I don't know how to say his name.
Jess. Oh, I guess
Jace.
Jesus.
Jace caught Vin. She was not in her carriage on the way back to Renault's.
Yeah, it's bros before hoes in his eyes.
Yeah. And Ellen makes a deal with Daddy Venture so he could send some spies to follow Vin.
I wrote Ellen. So even after Jas like tells Ellen that he tracked her and she wasn't in the carriage, Ellen was like, "She's not like other girls, like copium."
Yeah.
He's like, "All right,
It's
maybe
like,
she was just,
guys,
went into the city."
you just don't know her like I do.
Yeah.
You just don't know her.
He's so cute. Oh my god.
He really is just like head over heels for this girl. Understandably.
Yeah, then the Kandra, we were like, "Ooh, is it possession or is it something else?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
hint, hint.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord Strathventure really said, "I hope I live to see you dead." And I said, "Now that's an evil statement coming from a parent. He hates his son so much."
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to your dad to tell you.
Damn.
Yeah. Now we know what his dad's like.
Yeah. And why he hates him. You're like, oh, okay. Oh, also at the end, after when Ellen is like, she's been doing something suspicious. He's like, oh, look, I told her about the ATM.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've been spilling my secrets. Oh shit, oh fuck.
They're like the same though, because Vince spilled so much like beans to him the last time too. And I'm like, girl, you need
Yeah.
to stop talking right now.
Like they're
I
both
mean,
dumb in the same way.
I mean, match made in heaven, I guess.
Yeah. All right, 29. The diary about, or are we saying Rashek? Rashek? How are you pronouncing this guy's name?
I say
Rashek. I pronounce
Rashek.
Rashek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He irrationally believes that all people outside of Terrace have oppressed him. I'm like, sounds like people in real
Yeah.
life. They just
Yeah,
want to be
and that,
oppressed
like,
so bad.
they've been oppressed by everyone else, even though they are the superior beings.
Yeah, in terms of like powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which makes me wonder, what power did the Clinium people have?
nothing. I think
Did
they were
they?
just like farmers.
Unclear.
Right?
Yeah, we don't know.
Like it in my head I took it as like they didn't have power, but they might have just had numbers, like kind of thing. Like that's always like a big trope. Like even if
Yeah.
there's a much more powerful small group, sometimes they get oppressed just because the other group has so much more people than they do.
We didn't really know much about Millennium yet, though, or like what
Yeah,
they did as a
they
society.
haven't gone into like any real like of that time, basically.
Yeah.
And also,
I mean, honestly, like if I was Rashek and I had like all these powers and like, I mean, I guess we don't know if allomancy is already existing in this timeline or not, but it hasn't been mentioned at
Yeah.
all.
Mhm.
So if
Yeah,
I was like so
it's
powerful
assumed.
and these like plebs with nothing were like trying to oppress me, I'd be like, yeah, actually I am the superior being.
I don't remember where they mentioned this, but I wrote it as a note, and I said that the fact that they're bringing up that an Allomancer can burn metal that a ferrochemist has stored something into, I said that makes me feel like it might lead to another aspect of either like powers types being revealed, which I guess is true, but I forget in what context this was in. Was this when
It's
Vin was
because
asking?
Vin asked Says if she could try burning one of his like metals that he stored something in.
Did it work though?
And
Or
and she
no?
explained that she could feel that there was she could feel the metal, but it felt like she couldn't reach out to it. She could like the regular metals essentially.
So she
Like
could
she felt there was a
burn
power
it.
source,
Okay.
but she felt there was another power source within her, but it was unattainable or unreachable for her.
Okay. And then at the end, Sazed's trying to help Kelsier get to sleep, and I was like, it's like reading a bedtime story to Kelsier because he just goes off about some religion or whatever to put him to sleep. I'm like, aw.
And I did have some theory crafting again, or not really theory crafting, but just like they talked about the Lord Ruler having such a big interest in ferrochemy in this chapter too, and it's like it was in my head, Allomancy didn't exist because he probably would have mentioned it in the diary if it did, and that the Allomancy was probably like created using ferrochemy as like a basis.
Possible. But like, who created Allomancer?
That is the question.
That is a question. Because technically, we don't really get the answer still, even at the end.
We'll find out within the other
for sure.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume. Yeah, I mean, we still don't know like what the deepness was, what happened, because the translation abruptly ends the day before they're going to go to the Well of Ascension.
The Well of Ascension, which is the name of the second book.
Yeah. I like also Vin reads it and then she goes to say that she's like, "Where's the next chapter?" He's like, "It's over," and she's like, "What do you mean?" She's so mad.
What do you mean it's
like,
over?
This book was just getting good.
Yeah, it's like
She
when a
just
manga
started to
ends,
read
you're
it.
like, "What do you mean this is the last chapter?"
Bro,
What do you mean the
I've read
mangaka died?
that is the worst thing to learn is you start a new like manga, manhwa, webtoon, and like it's so fire, and you're like, oh, I wonder when the next chapter's coming out. I caught up, and they're like, sorry guys, the writer died, or he's in jail, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, well, okay.
Guess I'll write
And
my
you
own fanfic to end this.
And that's
Or
why
when you start a
AO3 exists.
fanfic and the last update was like 2018, you're like, fuck. I got all the way here. It's not coming back.
Sorry guys, I'm going to jail. I'll write the next chapter in 10 years.
All right, chapter 30. Oh yeah, I said, uh-oh, the miscommunication romantic subplot is upon us. Because now, Ellen is suspicious of Vin, and Ellen is telling her to, like, skip town, and, like, you shouldn't be here. He basically ignores her the whole ball, and Vin has, like, a little breakdown, and Vin wondering why she still wants to save Ellen, even though he just ridded himself of her. Yeah, so, like, she uses the word love, oh my god, for the first time.
Yeah,
man, getting told to skedaddle by your one true love is crazy.
Yeah, and she still wants to save him even after finding out that he's gonna get murdered or assassinated, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
That's love.
And also, while she's having a breakdown, Lady Kliss comes up to her, and we learn she ain't just a chismosa, like she a smart chismosa.
Yeah.
So
and then
for hire.
She's actually a professional chismosa.
Yeah. This is her job.
Damn, can I get that job? Could I be a professional?
Yeah. Yo, I mean, I would love to be. I can get paid to just know Chisme all the time. Please.
I think she gave away her Allomancer secret, though, to Kliss in exchange for the assassination tip, though. Right?
I think they paid her in the other, in the, I don't know if it's next chapter or the chapter after, where they paid her to keep it.
They wind up paying her.
Yeah,
because she was pissed that they had to pay her.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
which, I mean, after the end of the book, doesn't really matter, but whatever.
That's true. Yeah.
In the moment when I read that, I was like, how could they still trust her even if they paid her money? Like, I don't know if I trust that girl. But then at the same time, like, I guess as her reputation as a professional gossiper, like, she has to keep her mouth shut, otherwise people would not, like, use her.
Yeah.
Also, that kind of information, you'd pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't give it around willy-nilly. Yeah.
It's like, it's like honor among thieves kind of deal, probably. You have to have some kind of code or no one's going to trust you for anything.
And then we find out that Shan Ilariel is a Mistborn,
she's one of the asesinos, is what I wrote. I don't know why I specifically said asesino. I don't know why I wrote that, but
because it sounds cool.
You were feeling third chemist. I mean, that was a surprise to me the first time I read, because I, like everyone else, I thought she was a soother or a writer?
Because like we knew she was a soother, for sure, and like a pretty strong one.
Because she was trying to persuade Vin to do stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even question like maybe she is a Mistborn, because like I mean, to be fair, it's like I don't know if there were signs that I could notice.
I just assumed that she could also be like a Mistborn.
Because the only reason why I think I didn't assume was because they said like Vin noted like she like was a very strong, like well-versed soother, because she was like, if I didn't know Breeze, like I probably wouldn't have like known she was trying to soothe me. And I assumed because she was so good, I'm like, oh, she's probably like Breeze, basically.
Oh, just like a really good soother.
Yeah, because like
Vin like only notices that, like she doesn't mention her doing other things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the moment, why would Shan need to do that?
because Vin also noted like when she's learning like the individual powers from all the like mistings in the crew, like that like Kel isn't really proficient, like super proficient in all of them, or in any of them really, like the way the others were. So that's why also my brain assumed she was only a soother because she was comparing him to Breeze, which was like a very very good soother.
Mm.
I think she winds up like Vin winds up revealing herself as a Allomancer, or I guess a Mistborn to Shan as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then
I mean,
wrote
they're fighting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She goes out in her underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote, dang, how is she gonna get away being known by Shan now too? And then like 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh, by killing her. Okay, that's how. And they start battling. I was like, oh, she's literally gonna murder this girl to keep the secret. So
usually that's how it goes.
yeah.
The one question
she
they don't
does
answer
just try and run away.
That's true.
Yeah, she
You're
does.
right.
So she was
the
gonna
other
just
Mistborn
like
does.
deal with it, but
And then we have a Mistborn that did the other Mistborn know that that was Vin, or didn't see Vin's face?
Like, did Shan know if it was Vin?
No, because there were
Shan-
2 Mistborn.
Yeah, there was 2 other Mistborn,
Oh.
and then there was like a coin shot and like a lurcher.
Yeah,
Like
it was
they explained
Shan
like
and some other Mistborn. I don't think that the other Mistborn probably didn't know it was Vin unless like he or she has been at the balls too. But I guess it doesn't
like
really matter.
I think
So.
she didn't recognize the other people there, so I'm assuming they like weren't ever at the ball, so maybe like they don't recognize her on first glance. But Shan like obviously has interacted with her so much.
Did Vin kill that second Mistborn too?
No, the second
I don't
Mistborn
think
that
so.
ran away.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But
I guess
you
though
know,
it doesn't really matter because like, you know, she's exposed either way. Like she can't go back to balls now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not that there's gonna be
it doesn't
any
really
more.
matter if they recognize her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, her and Shan start duking it out, you know,
Mhm.
Mistborn v Mistborn.
That was really cool. I really like this like action-y stuff.
And you know, I really love how she winds up beating her in the battle.
Yeah, that was smart.
Being real tricky. Where she like turns off her ADM to trick her into thinking she's out, and then turns it on right as she's about to hit, so it confuses the shit out of her.
That's really smart tactic. Yeah.
In my head, I was like, "Oh, that's so dirty."
Damn,
It's like
I want to see this in an
like,
anime, like animated
it's
format.
like that Star Wars thing, like
Yeah.
Tricata or whatever, where you turn your lightsaber off and on again to trick your opponent.
When is
I was
that?
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
That-
need Pete
it's-
to back me up with the Star Wars lore.
it's like a Star Wars technique that the Jedi like banned because it's considered like
Like unfair.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like dirty, like fighting.
It's not like
dirty.
it's not respectable.
Wait, which movie? Is that from a movie or one of the animated series?
I don't know where I even read about it. I don't know
Not
if
a
any.
movie, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not in any of the movies. It's probably like from the novels or something. I spend a lot of time reading through wikis and for no reason.
Or some other. There's so much like tertiary Star Wars content that it could be from literally anything.
Yeah,
I think it's better than the canon content.
Yeah, like what is it like? Legends. What is like the whole expanded universe of Star Wars?
I think it's Legends. Yeah, I think it's better than what they're putting out nowadays.
That's a book. Wait, I'm sorry. What were you?
No. It's there's like a bunch of like novels, comics.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the expanded universe.
Expanded universe.
Yeah.
When are we getting Knights of the Old Republic remake? So I can finally experience this game.
Don't even get me started. It's still one of the best forms of Star Wars media ever. But
that's Old Republic, right?
Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah.
Old Republic. Yeah.
We need more Old Republic content. I love the Old Republic so much.
I love the Old Republic. It's like the height of both the Jedi and the Sith.
Yeah. Also, just because like you have just so much more opportunity to have cool lightsaber shit, and let's be real, the lightsaber shit is one of the coolest parts.
Yeah, the lightsaber, more force powers.
Yeah, like
more characters.
As a kid, I only cared about Star Wars because there was lightsabers, which is like a very kid thing to do. But I'm like, it's cool.
And now as an adult, the only thing I care about is lightsabers too.
Yeah,
it's like glowing swords. Like, what else would you want?
Even in the Acolyte, when they started getting like more lightsaber shit, I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm hooked.
Yeah, like the fights were really good. That's one
Yeah.
of the only good things I can say about the show.
Yeah.
Rip.
But for me, I'm simple-minded. That's all I need. I just need cool shit, and then I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I need too. Except there's not as much cool shit
That,
nowadays. They're all about dialogue,
yeah.
and it's like the dialogue's kind of clunky.
Oh yeah, whoever's
And
writing the dialogue is like, not feeling it.
I'm gonna be for real. I don't watch Star Wars for dialogue. I watch it for cool scenes, and
Yeah.
they need to learn that.
If they did like like martial arts movies where it's like 85% action sequence and then like 15% actual like plot, I think I'd be cool with that.
Oh, I'm down for it. Actually, in the final episode of the Acolyte, not with like no spoilers, there is lightsaber dueling, and a lot of it has like nods to old like samurai dueling movies and stuff like that. It's very, very cool. Highly recommend it just to watch that scene. It was such a well done action like sequence.
That's good. All right. So then, yeah. So she beats Shan by stabbing her through the heart with an arrow. Like she throws the arrow, right, and it pierces her.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
I think she pushes it.
Yeah, you could say it pierced the veil, you know, as you will.
She digs the arrow into her chest basically, and like that girl dead.
And she does it twice.
Yeah, to make
Right?
sure.
Yeah.
He like
she's really dead.
shoves an arrow in her chest, breaks it off, and then shoves the other half in her chest.
That's insane.
Well, that's pretty hardcore.
That's metal.
Yeah. I will say, what is with all these like fantasy novels and small women just like really good at throwing knives? Like every book that I've read recently, they're just throwing knives and they're so good at it.
That's the woman's weapon, I guess.
Yeah,
in fantasy.
I think to like counteract the like less, physical body power.
Yeah, usually
like
that's
high
the expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they're just like physically less imposing. They have to be a little more tricky with it.
Yeah, we're dex builds, not strength builds.
Exactly. All right, 31. We got a few more. So are we? Him and the gang are making fun of Breeze. Oh yeah, he says, because my dear man, you are by far the best butt we have. I forget the rest of the context of the joke, but I was just like, that's funny. That's cute.
It was because Breeze is like, "What? It's like, must you always make me
the butt of
the
a joke?" He's
the
like,
butt
well,
of
you
the
do
joke.
have a pretty good butt. What a dad.
Yeah, they're
all
having
the
all
scenes
this,
of just like their banter are so
Yeah, I could honestly just have like a Breeze Ham side story, and like I'd be happy.
Yeah, just like a little slice of life. Like
I want a slice of life, like episode of just them two.
Yeah, that's
like,
the filler
banter.
episode. That's their bottle episode.
Come on, bottle episode.
Come on, Mappa. Overwork your workers a little bit more and make a Mistborn.
Yo, some of these scenes would be so coolly animated.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so much potential for like a good animated series for I genuinely like. I don't want it to be live action because I feel like animation could just do wonders for like the magic stuff that happens.
Powers, because in real life it's like you can do it, but it'll look so fake.
And I feel like it's not animation just does like those supernatural power type things. Just like you can do so much more with it, and like I think it would just work so well, especially like the Adium like fights that they have. Like imagine that animated. It's gonna look so cool.
Yeah, with all like the shadow selves of them.
Yeah, like all shooting different. I mean, we kind of saw a little bit of that in Bungo Stray Dogs, you know.
Shout out Bungo Stray Dogs.
And that fight was cool as fuck. So just saying, Mappa, get to it.
Or like what is the studio that did Arcane?
Ooh,
it's a French studio, I think.
Yeah, like it was it was like a European or American studio.
That would be so good for this, I feel like.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's like the vibes. Like the aesthetic of Arcane especially too would work so well.
All right, we're sending
Arcane
ideas to
season
Hollywood
2 coming out
now.
this year.
Yeah. Hollywood, get on that shit. Or Japanese animation studios, get on that shit. All right,
I mean, if they could make a Suicide Squad isekai, they can make a Mistborn show.
But like Suicide Squad isekai is like low hanging fruit, you know?
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere. You gotta start. They made anime Superman basically at this point. So
I heard that's really good. That's an American.
Oh, I was literally telling Andrea like before this, like it's so good. I finished the season finale like right before.
Ad break in 30 seconds. Warning. It's alright. We can keep talking. Not that it really matters.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're bantering, but then Vin like explodes on them, saying like, "Y'all ain't real ska. You don't know how ska live."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she calls them noblemen without titles.
Oof.
Like, damn.
That's a diss.
Damn. You got no
I mean, she's
titles.
kind of right though.
She basically slurred them out. Like,
Yeah, she's kind of right. Like,
but she's
even
she's right.
Kelsier was the child of a Ska and a nobleman, right? And he kind of grew up
and he
noble.
kind of got to grow up a little bit as like a noble in secret, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, so I mean, they all are literally half noble because that's
Yeah.
powers, but yeah, then none of them had that real Ska experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all phonies.
And then okay, I wrote this note, but I actually don't remember the context either. I think I gotta write out more details to my notes. But I said, "Ayo, Dad, Kelsier is coming through," because I think he was like kind of
Maybe
being
when
like
he
a
went to
fatherly
comfort her?
figure. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
she
when he
goes to
went
the
to
roof,
comfort her.
right?
Yeah, she's on the roof looking at the mist, because it calms her.
As you have to do if you're gonna be emo.
Yeah.
Of course.
She's like, "Oh, the mist like protects me and blah 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 and hides us and something." Whatever Kelsier's like quote was from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
She also finds it's possible for her to pierce a copper cloud.
Yeah.
If
She finally
focuses...
proved that you can pierce through people's copper clouds, because she always suspected because of the Lord Ruler.
Yeah.
And it kind of proved that it essentially kind of proves that like Mare didn't actually betray him, in a sense.
Wait, how so?
Because when the Lord Ruler like thanked her, she was saying like he thanked her because he could sense her use burning tin, probably. It's like it's not like 100% proof, but it's like it was just so unbelievable that Mare. Oh yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, like
Grandma.
oh yeah. I
Yeah,
lost my train of
Grandma.
thought.
Uh,
But
go
yeah,
on.
like the Lord Ruler, because he was like why would he thank her like if she didn't betray me? But even though like it was so unbelievable, it's like he probably thanked her because she knew that she was probably burning tin and he could sense it,
And that's how they find her.
and
Yeah.
that's how they found
I
it.
mean, then we find out that Vin, is it this chapter that we find out Vin can pierce copper clouds?
Yeah, she pierces through Kel's copper cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like test it.
And
Which is a
it
pretty
still
nifty
makes me
power to have.
wonder, like I'm like, why is she so strong? Like obviously she's like the daughter of like the Lord Preland and stuff, but like I feel like even that doesn't really explain why she's so strong to me. Like there has to be more to it.
Sorry, I'm back. I have to go to
Oh,
Costco for my grandma
maybe.
later.
Okay. Are you gonna get a shaboing boing?
What?
Oh,
What the hell is that?
it's a hot dog.
Oh,
Sorry.
what? Is that a new... I thought we called them glizzies.
Another word, synonym, a new synonym might be a shaboing boing.
Is that a TikTok thing?
I don't know. I just heard it somewhere and I find it so funny. So I
Oh.
only call them shaboing
That
boings
sounds like
now.
a JoJo's thing. Isn't there something called like that? One
I
of
think
the
JoJo fans really do love shaboing boing.
no, but one of the enemies, the villains, it was like two brothers, and one of them was called like Bing Boing or something like that.
What?
You don't remember?
No.
You know, Bing Bong and Shaboing Boing.
No, for real.
My favorite JoJo villains.
The funniest part is you could say anything, and it's like it could be a JoJo.
Wait, I'm gonna look it up. All right, continue while I fact check
I don't
this.
think if I look up JoJo shaboing boing, I don't think I'm gonna get what I want.
No.
That sounds dangerous, honestly.
That sounds so dangerous.
yeah. Good luck, Amiana.
Yeah, I wrote character.
Do it on incognito.
Yeah, wait. His name is Boingo. It's a minor antagonist featured in Stardust Crusaders. Boingo is a stand user who wields Toth. like the ancient Egyptian god. Anyway.
But wasn't there also like an orangutan?
What?
Yeah, in Stardust Crusaders, they have to fight an orangutan who's like the captain of a ship.
I didn't get to there yet, I don't think.
Oh.
But alright, last side
Yeah,
piece.
remember when that monkey went to space?
Oh
They
my
fought
God.
him.
No, wait, so his name is Boingo because his brother's name is Oingo, so it's Oingo Boingo, which is a band name. Yeah, American New Wave band, Oingo Boingo. Yes, that's real.
Boingo Boingo.
How is that a real band?
Around the world.
It's a new wave
I
band.
actually do think I've heard of that.
Yeah, Oingo Boingo. There you go. Real JoJo's lore here. Alright. What were you guys talking about?
Wow.
Oh, like piercing the copper cloud and
etc.
my train of thought is so off because I keep thinking of Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, that it didn't have to be Mare, but because
Oh, okay, yeah.
That like it kind of proves that Mare didn't actually betray him. Like he was thanking her because like, oh, you are burning tin, so that's how I found you.
Yeah.
Which makes sense of like how he the way he thanked her like was like she didn't actually like betray him.
Yeah, the Lord Ruler's so OP. I kind of figured that he could like that copper clouds do nothing for him.
Yeah, and also like they kept hinting at it though, like when they first met, where she first experienced being by him, and she was like, I could still feel his soothing even through like Kel's copper cloud and her copper cloud.
Yeah, it's just also like there's no way it could just be that easy. That you could just put out a protection spell, like.
Yeah. And like they also explain it's probably because like if you're just stronger than them, you can pierce through it essentially. Which then also like makes like hints even more like Vin is low key, Lord Ruler level, like baby form of it, but like
she doesn't know her full power yet, her full potential.
Yeah, she got potential. Yeah.
She's got something.
I think Kel recognizes and tells her to feel more confident about.
Aw.
Dad Kelsier.
Dad.
Yeah.
Dad. He's dad.
Papa Kelsier.
But there's also a section in this chapter where when Ellen like finds out that she's actually Ska, he's talking to his friend. And he's like, but she fooled us. If we can't tell the difference between a Ska and a noblewoman, that means that the Ska can't be different from us.
Yeah.
And if they're different, what right do we have treating them? I was like, wow,
he's connecting the
bro,
dots.
it's literally when dudes take like shrooms for the first time and are like, yo, empathy? That's a thing? It's like I'm like, yes, okay.
There, he figured it out.
Yeah. He ended racism. Got the right, he's got the right spirit. Yeah, he ended racism. Yeah,
but he's still having like
his frontal lobe finally finished forming.
He still was like, "Oh my god, if she was a Ska, we could have asked her questions about how Ska live." I'm like, this guy. Oh my god.
Like I know it's not coming from a bad place, but it's just like, bro, come on.
He really said, "Teach me about your culture."
Yeah, he really did.
Yo, where are you from? Like, no, like, where are you actually from?
We're really from, yeah.
She's like, Luthadel. No, where are you really from?
Oh, but yeah. I mean, at least he's got the right spirit. I don't know. He's better than his friends.
He's got the right intentions. It's just sometimes it's just like
the execution.
Roll your eyes.
Yeah.
And then Ben still likes this man. I'm like,
yeah, because not all noblemen,
that's
you're
not,
right.
Yeah, hashtag not all noblemen.
No noblemen. But let's see.
32. Lester Barnes comes up to her and she basically like lets him down gently. And he's like, can I still keep the handkerchief? And he lets her. I'm like, oh, that's cute.
He was just like, I guess, yeah, sure, whatever. And
she got friends.
That it starts off with like the house war is like full tilt, everyone beefing with each other like outright now.
And then they try to go meet Marsh, but they get there a little too late, I guess, and they find what is supposedly his body in the warehouse. But I mean, not to spoil anything else down the line, but like in this moment, I made a note saying like I kind of figured that the Inquisitors were onto him because they were treating him like he was some prodigy, so they must have known that like he was some outsider person all along. And then I also wrote, "Wow, older brother dying to protect the younger brother" trope.
My boy,
But-
he went Itachi on Kel.
Yeah. And then I wrote, "Kelsier, please don't do something rash." This is before the next chapter happened. But his
famous last word.
Yeah,
immediately does something rash.
But his rash thing in this moment was he went to the pits and basically like destroyed their ATM mine. And then his line to Wallen, which is one of like the ska prisoners in the pits, he's like, "I am what you soon will be, a survivor." I'm like, oh my god, that goes so hard.
Yeah, it was.
That was a really
that was a
badass
fucking
quote.
bar, bro. That was a bar.
Yo, this is why he was made to be a leader, because he has these like badass one-liners all the time.
Yeah, he's charisma. He has that drip. He has the charisma.
Yeah.
He got charisma points.
He got the.
Yeah.
He has aura. He has aura, as the kids would say.
He got the aura.
Yeah.
All right, but then next chapter, because like Luthadell's in chaos, they take House Renault prisoner for more public executions, including Lustiborns and Lord Renault and the servants.
Yeah.
And I forget. Vin is just watching, right?
Yeah, because Vin doesn't want to do anything. He's like, we can't stop them. There's too many people. Yeah. And then Kel literally says, Kel was like, or I wrote my notes. Kel said Vin needs to learn what being Nakama all about, basically.
Yeah. He does say that, though.
Yeah. He basically does say that. Like, you need to learn about friendship.
He's like, you need to learn what being a friend is, Vin. And then goes to help them.
Yeah, and then Alan is like just literally walking into the middle of the street fight. He's like, "Where's the girl? Where's Vin?" I'm like, "Yo, bro."
I was like, "Excuse me, stop this.
Stop
what
this
are you
tomfoolery.
Doing? I'm a nobleman. Please explain
what's
going on."
His weapon is just a fighting cane, which is, I'm assuming, just like a stick.
The heir of House Venture. Where is my woman? Where is my woman?
And like people are ignoring him because it's just like street fights going on. And like
meanwhile, there's a full-on brawl happening
with Inquisitors. Yeah.
Yeah, the man has no situational awareness.
For real. He just cares about his girl.
Excuse me, I need to speak to your manager.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, just walking around with his dueling cane, just like tapping it around. Excuse me, where is my woman?
Yeah, the guy's so like blind.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it was a trap. Like we all assumed.
I didn't assume it was a trap for Kelsey. Well, I kind of assumed it was a trap because they wanted to like fish the prisoners' friends out into the open, which happened. But
and it, because Kel's beefing, and then the Inquisitor is like, "Yo, 1v1 me right now."
Yeah, he literally
and Kel says, "Fuck it, let's go."
Fuck it, we brawl.
Here's my question though, right? Like now that we've read out the book, we know what happens. How do they know that Renault and Lustiborns were in on it?
They were probably all at the mansion at the time. I think.
Oh, did they just know that the? Was it just luck?
No, because they caught them while they were sailing up. Remember, they were trying to escape.
They caught the canal. Yeah, that's right. The canal.
Yeah, but why did they catch them specifically?
I don't. I also wonder that, like, how did they know they were connected specifically? But, yeah. Oh wait, but the thing is, they killed all the rebels. Yeah, I don't really know how they found out. The Lord Ruler knows all, I guess.
Yeah, because the thought that they had was that Marsh broke while he was being tortured.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
We know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how do they find out that? I mean, I'm sure like they had suspicions. The Renault family wasn't the most what's the word? They were kind of sus from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just bad luck.
I was thinking because like when Vin was being Valette and she was like spreading false rumors, like Kliss knew that, so maybe somebody else paid her for that information. They were like, "Oh, they're being like sus," and then if you actually look closely at them, it's like pretty obvious.
Yeah, because like at this point, there's a bunch of nobles that are fleeing Luthandel. It wouldn't be so weird for Renault to flee unless they were doing something suspicious at the canals.
That's what I'm wondering.
Were they loading weapons and stuff, maybe, and then caught them doing that?
I mean, they were supposed to be doing that because they were supposed to be a weapons family, like supplying weapons and stuff, but maybe they caught them doing it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just something that I was like
It's
thinking about
explained
again.
in the wait, I just googled it on Reddit. It's explained in the annotations. Inquisitors were looking for Vin, figured out she was Valette, and then knew Valette was connected to
Wait,
Renault.
what annotations?
I don't know.
I think that's like the author's
Yeah.
annotations.
Oh,
There's
wait.
a version of this
remember,
book
they
has,
also knew they also remember Valette got caught in the whole stuff with Ellen's assassination.
She didn't. I thought they didn't
Like
identify.
no,
her.
like caught in the sense that they knew she was in like in the scuffle.
They knew that Valette was a Mistborn.
That
And
Valette was
the
a
other
Mistborn.
Mistborn then did recognize her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And they
it was
probably like
that. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's something that I think you were supposed to assume, and I think he explains it like in more detail, like in an annotation somewhere.
Okay.
But like I also didn't really think about it that hard
neither did
until
I.
like right now. But that makes sense, I guess.
I just assumed that like Renault,
Yeah.
like their farce couldn't have been like too rock solid, so someone eventually just thought like, hey, like, you know, these guys aren't what they said they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of things happened within the last couple of days in the book that could tip him off
Yeah.
that Renault wasn't who he said he was being. But yeah, we get to the end of the chapter, where Kelsier basically goes 1v1 against an Inquisitor.
But yo, this fight, I really wish I could have seen this animated.
And Kelsier shows why he's him against
why
this
he's the
Inquisitor.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even Vin realized
Like,
it. He's
am I
like,
the
I
strongest
stop.
because I'm Kelsier, or am I
Oh,
Kelsier
yeah.
because I'm the
Yeah,
strongest?
because I'm the strongest. Even Vin's like, oh, so this is his art, push and pulling.
Yeah.
But she always assumed Kel was like, he's just kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none type thing. It's like, oh no, he a master. Specifically for the push pull.
Fights. Yeah.
Yeah, literally just scrapping. That's his specialty.
Street scrapping. But the one move he did that I really wanted to see, like, I guess, animated, is when he was avoiding. He got a cage thrown at him by the Inquisitor, and he avoided it by like spinning. Like, I imagined it in like slow motion as he's spinning through the cave, and he's pushing out like equilaterally on all sides, so that the cage just like shoots around him. And I'm like, oh my god, that is so cool.
And also, like, he took a bunch of the metal bars from the cage.
Bars, to stop the arrows.
Would push one side and pull the other, so it spins rapidly to basically just decimate the arrows. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Bro, my head animated that whole sequence. It's so cool. And like when he's doing the push pull like above him too, like off different sources, so he's just bouncing around really quick. Like, you know that shit would be fire.
Yeah, he was using the foot soldiers as like props basically, so it was like slapstick comedy. Like every other like soldier is getting like bonked on.
Also, like when he's pushing off of people's breastplates, bro, their
going
ribs
down.
are like caved in.
Yeah, well, the armor is probably helping them, but they're getting knocked down for sure. The amount of force that he needs to exert to like push himself,
especially
off.
When he like jumps like his feet to the thing and then pushes off of it as well, so that he gets more force. I'm like, they're dead. Their heart has exploded.
Crushed.
Collateral damage.
There's also one part where he picks up like, I think it's one of the soldiers or something by the breastplate, and like using stuff like swings it around to knock over all of the other things around him, like it's like a ball and chain basically. I'm like, that's very cool.
Yeah, this is one scene I wanted to see animated because I cannot imagine as well as you guys can.
Aww.
Like the metal bar spinning, I'm like, oh, that's like, you know, like lightsaber shit in my head, like when they're blocking blaster bolts. I'm like, oh, it's so cool.
That part I was able to imagine.
But meanwhile, while all this is happening, Ellen is still out there like, where is she? Where is Valette?
I'm like, you're gonna get yourself killed.
Bro. Yeah.
I think Kelsier
literally
just, like,
doesn't even know her real name.
Yeah. I think Kelsier is like, literally get away from here, she's not here, and then kind of just like lets Ellen like fend for himself.
But then he goes and saves him.
Wait, who?
Yeah, he was like, you know, maybe Vin's right. I guess.
Yeah. He does.
He's his life.
but then Renault gets an axe to the back.
Yeah.
Womp womp. But
Era.
yeah. But he's still alive. Wink wink.
Have a signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave each other a look.
And then they like meet eyes, and we're like, okay.
Yeah. They gave like the little side eye, and they're like, okay, yeah. And then Renault's like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, he's like, like
I have died.
Yeah.
Very dramatically.
Yeah, like when I saw the Renault drop to the ground with the sigh, it's almost sounded like an annoyed, like my head of like an annoyed sigh, like.
It's like in a stage play when they pretend they're dead and they like swoon over.
Yeah, it's like a.
Oh, we couldn't hear you.
I have died.
I am dead.
Oh no, I have now deceased.
Yeah.
Or someone pretending to die because they don't know how to die. Like, I
Yeah.
guess if I died, I would sigh.
The Lord Ruler being a downer to the entire place, and I literally.
Oh yeah.
A literal downer,
Yeah. But then they describe when he like walks out of his little like emo black carriage. They're describing him as so handsome. I'm like, why is he sounding like a Bishonen right now?
Yeah, in my head, he's just he was like a shirtless, ripped Bishonen, long-haired guy.
But also they described him as younger than Kelsier, so I'm like, wow, so like the Lord Ruler must look like mid-20s to early 30s, because Kelsier is like at most mid-30s.
But I need to look up what he's supposed to look like, because
Yes,
I had a
he has,
very
like,
specific
long black
image
hair and like muscular and stuff. I think that's what they said.
Oh yeah, the fan art is exactly what I was picturing.
Yep, he's Bishonen.
Yep.
He's Bishonen as fuck. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God I was right this time. But yeah, it's but also for some reason I just pictured him I think he had it close, but in my head when he's walking out, he's already shirtless.
No. He's wearing some like cape cloak thing.
No, yeah, I know he was supposed to be wearing clothes, but in my head for some reason,
but like in my head canon, he was already shirtless.
He was already shirtless just to show how hot he is.
Yeah. He bad for real though, because he wins the fight to everyone's dismay.
Yeah.
Kel kills the Inquisitor first.
Yes.
Yeah, Kel kills the Inquisitor, and then he's like, yo, now it's 1v1 me. And then the Lord Ruler literally bitch slaps his face off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like bitch slapped half his face off.
It was so
and then just like stabs him with a spear.
Yeah.
No, I think he threw Kelsey back and then the spear pierced him. I think that's what happened. Right? Or did he throw the spear?
I think
don't remember.
he just stabs it into his chest.
Rip. It was like so anticlimactic that I thought that wasn't the end, but they're like, no, Kelsey is dead. And I'm like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, I really thought Kelsey was like he was gonna come back or like he tricked them.
Like,
I was
Kelsey,
like, no.
All right, cool. And he's just out.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, the Lord Ruler pulls a spear out of his own chest and then stabs the
that's
metal as fuck.
Yeah, it is pretty metal.
Dang. All right. Anyway, pour one out for our guy Kelsier.
Yeah, imagine if we had stopped here.
Yeah, I would have been like, nah, too bad. I'm reading ahead.
Yeah, I would have lied to you guys in red.
I think we all would have done
that. Yeah. But then we go on to the depression chapter.
Yeah, real depression.
Real depression. Where events like Kel abandoned me, just like everybody else.
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah.
And Seizet's
no one ever stays.
Well, yeah, they're all they all like disband basically, and Seizet's like, I gotta go do my own thing. I'm gonna collect ska stories of this Kelsier religion, and they're like, Kelsier religion?
And like Breeze is going, and like they're like, Ham's going back to his fam. Breeze is going to another dominance. It's just like, I'm all alone. This is like world.
The end of the found family trope, the sad part, where they all go their separate ways. They're like, no.
But then we start hearing people in the streets.
Yeah.
They doing some Les Mis type beat.
Do you hear the
just
people
singing that song?
Right.
That's literally what was playing in my head when they started describing the scene. They're just like lighting not candles, torches.
Yeah.
Candles would have been funnier, but like.
Yeah, I wrote Kelsier letting his death be the spark of the revolution. What a dude.
What a guy.
What a dude.
The whole plan was to martyr himself. And it worked.
Which, it works, you have a bunch of people who are like, fanatical. And also, I mean, when they say that Kelsier came to speak to them, like I think a whole people thought it was just like a hallucination, but then
we find
is
out
this
what
when we go?
the Kandra is.
But then we find out
Yeah.
the Kandra took Kel's form, and I was fucking right.
Let's go.
Fucking told you. I fucking told you. You guys said it was a stupid theory. I was right.
We didn't know.
I didn't say anything.
How was I supposed to know that guy?
It was a stupid theory to yourself.
I did, but I still believed it.
That's funny. How are we supposed to know this guy eats bones?
I do remember Andrea completely stopped talking when I started saying that shit. So I should have known.
Day.
Yeah, I couldn't give my like one way or another. I wasn't gonna be the I wasn't gonna be like, nah, Lois, that's stupid. Like, because I'm like,
you
oh,
could have
shit,
led him the wrong way. You know, you could have misled all of us.
But
I knew.
I'm so happy I was right. Vindication. Oh wait, that's why I texted in the chat. I was right.
Yeah.
Vindication.
Because there could have been so many things he could have been right about, and it was
No,
like,
yeah,
which one
but I
did he
didn't want
right
to say it
about?
because not everyone was at the same parts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when
yeah.
Kelsier appeared to us, well, the Mistwrath in the form of Kelsier, I was like, wait a second, like what's going on? But then they explained that the Kandra is like a grown-up Mistwrath who like eats the bones and the flesh of a deceased person and like takes on their form.
Give me your bones.
Yeah, he lives in give me your bones.
And it makes sense just based on the description of what the Mistwraiths we've seen so far do.
Yeah.
Like they incorporate the bones and bodies of things they're eating.
I still just imagine like a semi-translucent like jelly blob, like the baby Mistwraths, and they just like absorb stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just imagine them as like kind of like Nazgul, but that's only because of the wraith part.
Yeah,
all of transparent
Nazgul. In my head, they're very, very cute, even though they're always described as grotesque.
Because they're just like they're just a little guy. They're just
like
a little
in
blob.
my head, it's like when they're like sloshing around, it's like they're like talking, but it's just like bloop, bloop, bloop.
That's their communication. Yeah, what's the fan art of
they're not cute looking at all.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna look it up then. It's gonna ruin my perception of them.
They're probably gross, but well, I mean, and the way that when they first went to see them, like Kel had some like sort of affinity for like the Mistwraiths. He was like, oh, they're not like that bad. He was basically like, they're just little guys.
Yeah, that's why my headcanon was just like a little cute little guy.
He knows that they're like can be cognizant beings in the future.
Yeah, I wonder. I guess we'll get more lore hopefully later on about like how Mistwraiths can like grow up to be a Kandra, or like what kind of spell or magic needs to happen to make them a Kandra. But
because he said it's like a Kandra that's fully grown up.
Like how long does that take? I don't know.
In my head, it's because like it's like a trope that I've seen. I mean, imagine you watch that anime, right?
Which one?
He starts out as like incorporeal being, and then a rock, and then a thing. Like every time he consumes it.
That's the one that Peter keeps telling me to watch. The
you didn't
To
watch
Your
it
Eternity.
Yeah.
No, I watched the first episode and I was in tears.
But that concept is like a thing. Like people will start like things can start as like amoebas basically, and as they just consume other amoebas, they'll keep growing, and then they'll consume bigger things.
So they are just little guys.
So that's like my headcanon for it. It's like as they just consume more like dead bodies and they start getting smarter because they're getting more like brain and stuff like that.
More cells, multicellular life forms.
They're getting more powerhouses of the cell. So that's how they become stronger.
Exactly. Kelsey's note though to everyone, I was crying at this part reading this book. I was like, what? Like he knew all along that he was gonna sacrifice himself for them, and I was like, I have a love-hate relationship with sacrifice tropes, but they usually work out. Yeah,
but it always hits.
It hits
even though it's sad.
in a sad way.
But I love he was like Docs, Breeze, Ham, and it's like the bureaucrat, the politician, and the general. I was like, oh, that's so tough.
The part that really got me was the end of it. He says, I think that's everything. It was a fun job, wasn't it? When you remember me, please remember that. Remember to smile. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was giving me the vibes of like Itachi saying goodbye to Sasuke for some reason.
I never watched
and I was like crying.
Like, and then when he says, "May you rule in wisdom," I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. like Kel really gave him the 2 fingers to the forehead, like in that moment.
Aw.
Yeah, when he smiles, he's like, "I love you."
Aw.
Guys.
But
And
then,
then the note that he gives Vin,
Yeah, separate
yeah,
Oh
note.
my god.
She
the
gets
end, like, farewell, I'll
Yeah.
tell Mare about you. She always wanted a
yeah.
Just
daughter.
wanted a
Like,
daughter.
Ah, dude, that shit hit.
ugh, that was
yeah.
so sad.
But then
Founding father trope.
that finally, like, it lights the fire back in Vin, and he's like, there's still one more thing every empire needs. An assassin. And I
Yeah,
was like, oh
"Aw,
shit.
this is her origin story."
Yeah.
Now it's time for Vin to go sicko mode.
She does. She does. Yeah, so then I guess she gets sparked a little too much and decides she can take on the Lord Ruler by himself, even though she just watched her dad get like one-shotted by him. So
Well, she definitely got a lot from Kelsier
yeah, she's very
that she
determined.
didn't realize.
So she was collecting stuff, and then she goes out to
Yeah.
what is it called again? The Spire place.
Critic
Critic Shaw.
Critic shot. But like
Yeah.
when she was like prepping, like she's like getting arrows and all this stuff, I was like, in my head, it's the scene where Mulan is getting ready to leave in the night.
Yeah,
kind of
like the
thing.
montage
Yeah.
with some like epic music playing.
And then
she does something really smart with the arrowheads, though.
That was so smart.
Cool. Yeah, she attached metal right to it.
She attached
chain.
loose fitting rings onto the shafts of the arrows, so that when she pushes forward, like it'll stop at the arrowhead, but if they push back, it just shoots like through the back of the
Keeps
arrow.
going.
Yeah,
so the arrow will
really
keep going. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's so smart.
And then all the beads become like confusing ATM shadows too.
Yes. Yeah.
Or the
like she no, it was she also like ground pewter dust. Pewter into dust, so that she like when they throw it up, it just becomes a blue crazy cloud.
She really said pocket sand.
Yeah.
And she kept throwing pocket sand over and over again.
That's a smart idea, though. Like, how has no one else ever used that before to like confuse?
That's what I was thinking about. I was like, does no one ever think about like doing shit like
if
this?
you just have enough metal in the area, like you'll have way too many ATM shadows to keep up with.
But also I guess like oh wait, go ahead.
Only Mistborn can do this.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Usually only Mistborn are born in noble families. So why would they fight Inquisitors?
And Mistborns tend to not fight that often against each other because like it's not worth it.
Yeah.
No one's needed to.
And I guess that's why it's good she learned under Kel, who specifically learned how to fight Mistborn.
But she fights and she wins. She also managed to persuade some of the non-Inquisitor guards to switch sides, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
So they run off to find the revolution. And then she makes it to that room within a room place. And she goes in. I think they never made it in before, right? They just got.
They never made it into the room.
Yeah,
they got to like the room where there's another room within the room.
Yeah, well,
they never got into the room.
They were going to open the door, but then that Inquisitor just like popped out. So now Vin's actually in there, and she's like describing it as like a cabin, like a homey kind of place. And I'm like, oh, so maybe like the inside is just like a recreation or a collection of stuff from the Lord Ruler's former life.
And then there's just an old
reveal.
dude.
Yeah, and then by the fireplace is just an old dude chilling in a chair.
Yeah, she was just like, who's this old dude who kind of looks like the Lord Ruler, just chilling in a chair?
In my note, which, I mean, spoiler alert, it winds up being true. I'm like, oh shit, the Lord Ruler is a ferrochemist? Because it's like, what else would you think in that moment when you have like an old dude chilling in a chair who looks like the Lord Ruler? Like, that's clearly not his dad. It's like, he has to be a ferrochemist.
It's his dad. The Lord Ruler has a dad?
Yeah, he keeps his dad in the house in a house.
Well, and then right after she uses the 11th metal and sees like a guy with a beard and like a fur-lined cloak or whatever. So my note in the margin was, oh, Rashek after all.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit. Like that was like the moment I was like, oh god, it's hit. That's what happened.
Yeah. And she's still like, who's this guy?
I guess because she didn't really know. She's also not a good reader, remember, so.
No, yeah. She literally just learned how to read, so.
She was so into the story.
That's true, yeah.
Maybe
but
she
to be
can't
fair,
picture
she was
images.
just, mind you, she just came from fighting like multiple Inquisitors, technically,
she's
so her brain's probably not thinking straight.
But
I mean, I would not have made the connection either.
Yeah, not in the moment.
They
probably.
catch her.
They catch her and then
like
yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was saying like they catch her because like she was so taken off guard by the old dude.
Yes, she was just like staring at the guy in his 11th metal like shadows. So but they capture her and then I guess they make her eat or drink something and I'm like, wait, is this the 12th metal that makes you like lose all your metal reserves? Like I wasn't sure what they like dosed her with.
I also was wondering what that was. I don't even know. I don't know if it's like the 12th metal though.
This
Like,
reminds me of Fourth Wing when they drink that potion that makes their connection
yeah,
to the
yeah,
dragons
that's
all fuzzy.
exactly what I was
I was
thinking.
like, that sounds familiar.
Probably, I don't know what alloy it is. It's definitely an alloy. It's not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an atium alloy.
I guess hopefully they
missing.
explain this in a future book to just like say what this is and how it's possible because like that's pretty like powerful if you have that.
To essentially just cut off like all of their sources basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
it's Sanderson. There will be an explanation.
Good.
And then
yeah, so she gets thrown into the dungeon, but then in the next chapter, the best boy, Zed comes and gets her.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But also in the previous chapter, like Ellen, we also saw some Ellen stuff, and like now he's in charge because his dad wants him to take the fall.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't make a note about it. But yeah, so his dad goes to Skip Town, and then Ellen's like, I want to stay here, and the dad's like, you know what? You go get yourself killed. That's actually gonna do me a favor, and then just like F's off.
And also Vin makes the connection of the 11th metal, and like, oh, like I don't think gold, like, because like remember Kel was like gold has no alloys, it's kind of useless, and she makes the connection of like, oh, like the 11th metal was very similar to what the gold did, so it's probably an alloy of gold, so that means adium probably has an alloy of its own, and that there's like a 12th metal.
Wait, did they say it was an alloy or that atium and gold were the opposites?
No, it's atium and gold were opposites, but then between the opposites there's always an alloy that does something with it
but
too.
they would need like they need an alloy of like both of them, I think.
Yeah, because gold was the internal version of what adium does.
Yeah, adium's the external. Yeah, so there's two alloys we don't know about yet.
And the 11th
she thinks that the 11th is an alloy of gold because
I'm confusing atium with the 11th metal.
Internal past.
Yes.
Yeah, because you can see your past versus see their past.
Yeah. So then she's like, oh, then atium must also
have an alloy.
That they haven't discovered yet.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Damn, they didn't figure out the periodic table of elements in this universe.
That atium, gold, and the 11th metal are like in the time affecting
family.
Yeah. But then would that be like you see your future? I guess
you already do with gold, though. I thought.
No, gold's your past.
Your past.
Oh.
So atium shows someone else's future, so you could assume that the alloy would show your own future.
But I don't know what that means for you exactly. Because in my head I'm like, but I know what I'm gonna do next. Like, because like adium is like seeing what your opponent's gonna do next. So it's like, what does seeing what I'm gonna do next mean? Like exactly.
It sounds like it would just be confusing to you, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But when we'll see. I trust my boy B Swift.
Maybe it would be more like you could see like the result of what your next action would be. So like you know what you're gonna do, but you could see what would happen in response to that or something.
In this one anime I watched, this guy's whole power is like he can jump timelines in a sense. So like he can just see what his action's gonna do, and if he doesn't like it, he just goes back. Like reverts to a specific point, but essentially that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, he's basically it's like save scum the power.
Yeah. But she gets freed by Zed, right? And then but actually before that, the Inquisitors
tricks them.
Well, quote unquote tricks them, but basically says like, bring me to the girl, gets beat up, and then gets brought to the dungeon too.
Yeah, and then he goes Hulk mode.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, completely naked. Also.
Yeah.
Yo, he was just
like the Hulk.
He was naked.
Just.
Ken
he
doll.
was just shaboing boing sweat. Oh yeah, you're right. He's Ken doll.
Yeah, Ken doll. She sees it. She looks at it and looks away.
Yeah. But then the Inquisitors say that they captured Reen, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well Reen. That's why we couldn't find that Vin was existed because Reen never broke."
that is the one thing that actually took me by surprise, like completely. Was like, oh wait, I guess Reen actually like. I mean, he's still shitty for beating up Vin and all that stuff, but like he actually was doing like in a weird way for her. Like he always actually cared about her.
That's why I assumed that they were running because he knew that people were gonna be coming after her.
In my head,
Yeah.
I thought I guess it makes sense in hindsight, but I like because she hated him so much or like loved like all the bad shit he did. I was like, how could you like care about someone and just beat the shit out of them like every day? Like even if it is for their own benefit, I feel like there's better ways to do it.
Probably so that like if he did ever split off from her, like she wouldn't try and come after him, and find him.
Yeah, and like it makes sense in hindsight, but like in my head, like I didn't like I never considered that like it was actually all for her. And also I just like never would have thought that like the reason why he left and never came back was because he was caught.
Yeah, it was a good. I mean, I always thought. Well, I mean, never mind. But Reen himself, he was fucked up, obviously from growing up. So I also can see him confusing violence for love.
It's like the TikTok I sent you about Itachi. It's like literally that. It's where Itachi like put him in the Mangekyo Sharingan Tsukuyomi whatever, and just told Sasuke you're nothing, and showed his parents' death like for like 100 years or something crazy. Like,
yeah, if we can believe that Itachi loves Sasuke, then we can believe that Reen loves.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's a trope I've seen before.
Yeah. But then let's see. Elend also takes control of the Venture house and goes to Dachshund. Wait, are we still in chapter 36?
No, we're on 37 now with the Ellen actually comes to credit Shaw trying to save Ella with his stupid little fighting cane, which ain't gonna do shit against Inquisitors.
I'm like, bro, why don't you get a sword? Like, it was like my whole
he probably doesn't use it, or is not strong enough to wield the long swords. Yeah.
That's true. You're right. Yeah. He's a nerd, so he probably hasn't trained.
But so I think when Vin and Sazed are running, and then she's like, "Oh, we can't leave them," and Sazed's like, "Listen, girl, you either dying now or like dying later. Like pick your choice." Like but then she goes, and then she figures out her Nakama power, kind of right, and she does go back to save Ellen and his guards. And I remember it's funny though because they did say that Ellen's cane was like snapped in half already, and like he basically was like defenseless.
Yeah, he was gonna die.
Yeah,
for sure.
He literally was gonna die, and then she figured out her Nakama power and went back to save him.
Yeah, she literally was like, "Never again." And then I fight for my friends now.
Baby's first kiss? Question mark? And I'm like, oh, that's cute, but also not the time.
Well, to be fair, it could be the only time, so you might as well get your kisses in while you're alive.
Yes, that was cute. I was like, "Aw, all right, glad they were able to do that before one of them dies, if that happens," which it didn't, thank God.
Yeah, but I like how she goes like, "Kiss, thanks for saving me. Actually, I'm gonna go kill myself now." And, like goes to fight.
Goes to fight the Lord.
Actually, it's like now it's
she
time
needed the kiss as a power 1v1. You know.
Yeah, it was a buff. It was a buff. And then she's like, "Lord Ruler, you and me now.
Yeah, 1v1.
I got this.
I'm doing this for my dad." Oh yeah, she literally Inigo Montoya him like, "My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." But then the Inquisitors show up again, and she kind of gets like slapped around and pushed around the room.
She's like really just getting beat up.
And then her leg breaks because something falls on it.
Yeah, and then there's like another Inquisitor comes in, and she's like, "Oh, it's over. I'm gonna die."
Her pewter's out. She's out of medals.
And then out of nowhere, the Inquisitor just kills the other Inquisitor.
Yeah, another Inquisitor just walks in and like kills the other one.
And she's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah, then Marsh is back from the dead.
Marsh reveal.
Although he didn't really die. I mean, he kind of died. I feel like you lose your humanity when you become an Inquisitor, but in a sense, he is alive.
Yeah, because he says like you don't you lose a lot of like the feelings and stuff like that you have as like a human.
Yeah.
When you go through the process.
It reminds me of like just extreme acupuncture. getting these spikes like put into you.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you're numb now because you can't feel shit. You got the needles in you permanently.
And like they even explained like you can't see anymore, but like you can see.
You see with Allomancer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, like you can sense metals that like if you didn't have that like procedure done, like you would never be able to sense.
Yeah, but they also are in pain all the time. They said like the spikes like throb constantly.
Oh, that's gross.
That was horrifying when he explained that part. I was like,
yeah, no, this
fuck?
guy's committed. I was like, damn, he actually like killed his human self to become a full-on Inquisitor. That's insane. Marsh is a real one.
I don't think he wanted to become an Inquisitor.
I figured that he was the only choice.
Later that,
right?
Yeah, that they were recruited him.
Yeah, and like if he refused, he probably would have like not ended well.
Exactly.
So
well,
and also like it would be, it would be a help to the whole operation. Like
they had it
in. They do want to know what's going on in there. Like he's always wanted to figure it out. So
much self-sacrifice.
Marsh has an idea that the Lord Ruler is similar to Inquisitors and that he has a spike and goes to try to take it out, but
then
he does not.
But now the Lord Ruler's shirtless.
No,
Lewis.
it's just a ripped back.
yeah.
A ripped perfect
He's got a backless dress on, actually.
He's just more Bishonen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he tries to rip it out and he's like, wait, where is it? All I see are rippling muscles.
Yeah. His indecently toned arms.
She finally figures out that he's Rashek.
Yes.
Yeah.
He sees
and then
it.
she makes the connections like, wait a second, that's why the diary ended. You killed him before he could do the Well of Ascension thing.
I was like, oh my god, he's a false god, kill his ass. That was my note.
Yeah.
False god.
False god.
And then makes the connection that if he's a terrorist man, then he's probably a ferrochemist.
Yeah.
And
so she's looking
it's
for
like,
the metal.
all this time, like he's been carrying the metals in his fingers. It's not to show that he's like super powerful.
Yeah,
it is
his storage.
Yeah.
It's just his storage, and no Allomancer can pull on those because, like, I think like
you can't.
Like the important ones are like pierced into his arm.
Yeah. So you can't pull or push metals that are like inside
inside you. Yeah.
But so I like unless you're Vin.
Unless you're Vin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like at this point, it's also like anytime they say it's not possible, I'm like, but is it?
Oh, isn't it though? What if you tried harder though?
Yeah.
What if you were just like about to die?
Yeah,
and you really needed it.
What if you got your final boost of Nakama power? Are you sure it's still impossible?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was just saying like, I was right about him being a ferrochemist when she saw him as an old dude in the house, but I guess it didn't occur to her then that was the Lord Ruler. I'd be like, who else could have been in that little house in Credrickshaw? Anyway.
And the Inquisitors called him Lord Ruler too.
Yeah.
But it was probably
just like figure out it was him later. She just didn't realize it was Rashek.
But also, do they mention that only terrorist men can be ferrochemists?
I think it's like it's at very least it's heavily implied
that only
it's like their thing.
Yeah.
Because then
because they said like only terrorist men are like have been ferrochemists, so it's like assumed. I don't think they outright say only a terrorist man can be a ferrochemist.
Okay, yeah, because
but they talk about like there like all the ferrochemists were terrorist men, but like it's technically not said outright that you have to be a terrorist man, but it's probably the case.
But wait, yeah. So anyway, all the Inquisitors are dead, and now the Lord Ruler is like, he's shirtless, but he's confused, and he's like, well, like what are you doing, like to Marsh, because he doesn't know that Marsh is actually like a double agent. And Marsh says, "I rule your church now," and I was like, this is giving the "I'm the captain now" vibes.
and then he just like punches his chest.
Yeah.
But he says something interesting. He says, "You don't know what I do for mankind. I was your god."
Which is what they ponder.
Doomed yourself.
Yeah. So for sure, I like when he said that, I'm like, okay, this guy's definitely just been holding back the darkness like little by little, like eternally. and they kind of maybe are gonna screw themselves with that in the next book.
Yeah.
But we shall see. We'll talk about that more later.
Yeah, that was the assumption,
Yeah.
right? Because she points out, it's like, he said what I'm doing for mankind, not what I've done.
But so they ripped his bracers off, threw it out the open window, and now he's like powerless.
Becomes old.
He's shriveling.
Yeah, and he's aging like at like triple speed.
Yeah. And then she, how does she kill him? I don't even remember.
I think she just
spear
him through the heart, like
Dang,
he did
like
to Cal.
retribution. And then he dies. And then and remember, the whole revolution is just like outside Credit Straw, like just ready to like storm the castle, basically. Yeah, yelling. But that would be an epic fight scene. It's like the crowd just going wild as like Vin puts a spear through his heart while he's like near the ledge almost, because he goes to look down and sees all these people.
Yeah.
That was a good
And she says, I bring you a message from a friend of ours. He wanted you to know that he's not dead. He can't be killed. He is hope. And then stabs him.
Yeah, that's like, epic. She's getting her charisma. But one thing that happened that I wrote a note about, and they hinted this in the next chapter in the epilogue too, is when the mists are swirling through the open window, like through the broken window, and she can pull from them. And I'm like, I wonder like if the mist contain like bits of metal or something, because like, you know, you wouldn't usually be able to pull mist because it's just like water vapor. But and also why tin burning would allow you to see through the mist better. Interesting.
Yeah.
But
and that like they say that the mist is attracted to like allomancy, that it like flows around.
Yeah, it swirls around. It's like, ooh, we'll find out what the mist is.
Yeah.
Okay, and epilogue. So yeah, it ends, and then now they're trying to rebuild Luthadel, or I guess the Empire itself. But I said, so they make Ellen the like king, I guess for now, as the ruler, and I'm like, it's a little odd that they made him king, but I see why, because he does have like the noble title, and at least the other nobles would listen to him.
Yeah.
It gives the legitimacy, quote unquote.
And also, like, he was at Credit Shaw, like, fighting and stuff like that. So, like, it makes
unprepared,
sense
but
to
he
me.
was fighting.
Yeah.
I think there's another book that I've read or piece of media that does something similar, that installs a noble as king, but
they're a good noble?
Truth is that the truth is that they're not really the ones
just like
in
a puppet.
power. They have a puppet. Yeah.
I mean, that's what this is too, and Ellen kind of knows that he's not going to be like the king ruler. He has the whole backing of like the rebellion or the revolution, really.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he has. I mean, the squad are essentially his court and stuff.
Yeah,
council,
he's just the figurehead, and all the policies will be like thought up amongst the group. So
by Doc's breeze in hand.
Yep. But the epilogue was cute, and also like I guess a little sad, because I actually thought that Vin was just gonna like see Ellen from afar and be like, "Oh, this is our goodbye. We can't be together." And I was like, "Man, like you can't do that." But then she, you know, thinks better of her decision and turns around and basically like, did she go through an open window? Oh no, the ceiling never got fixed from when he got assassinated.
It was the broken ceiling.
Hilarious. So she just like drops down. And I forget what they said, but I was like, oh, the slow burn romance is like hitting right now. This is so good. And they just hug it out. I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so there's a cute I don't know if I think this is one of the more romantic books, I would say, of Sanderson's. There's not much romance in the Stormlight Archive.
Yeah, that's fine.
There is some, but also different forms of romance. This I would say is like the teenage romance.
Yeah, they're very young anyway, so.
I'm gonna be honest. After all the romantasy I've read this year, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's like an actual side plot, you know.
Yeah,
I'm okay with the subplot.
I don't want to have to keep rolling my eyes when it's like a whole chapter dedicated to sex, and I'm just like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Just say they did it and move on. I don't need to get it described to me.
Yeah.
Okay, but another important thing in the epilogue is that they are speculating, I guess, that Rashek was a Fruchmas and an Allomancer.
Yeah.
So that you like can do that, and that by doing that thing, he's able to burn his own storages, which like increases their use
Potency?
exponentially.
Yeah, it's literally like life hack, like
yeah,
life hack if you just burn
energy.
your own metal reserves. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But what is the darkness?
So, like, did he invent that? Who knows?
And also, how does one
head,
become both? That's like, I hope they explain.
Well, being a terraceman, like, you have the ability to get ferochemistry, and I'm assuming that Rashek, or at least was part of, or he was there when Allomancer was created, probably. So, but we'll probably learn more of how that all happened.
But yeah, can't wait to read the next book, which I already have. So.
Oh, you already got it?
I just downloaded. Yeah.
Okay, can you send it to me?
Yes. But yeah. So what do y'all think of Mistborn: The Final Empire overall?
I like rereading it. It's a fun book.
Did you read the other ones too, Andrea?
Yeah, I've read all the other ones I have. Yeah, what I haven't read is the second part of like the
second trilogy.
The second trilogy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I am very excited for that because it's like a Western like time period, cowboys and shit.
Yeah, it's like more modern.
Yeah, it's like Western, and then the third one is gonna be cyberpunk in 2028 or whatever.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
I think the third one's cyberpunk. Maybe it's the fourth one, and that's not even announced
if
yet.
you're
I
an
don't
OG Mistborn fan from like 2005 or whenever this came out, and it's literally been 20 years.
Bro,
yeah, it's fun.
Yo, someone is gonna die before they can read some of his books.
Yeah, that's gonna suck. But luckily for us, we're younger than the author, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed.
He doesn't get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a great book. And it didn't feel long at all, and when I was reading, like, I could actually, like, sit for just, like, hours and probably get through the whole thing.
Unlike our previous ones?
Yeah, where it kind of felt like a chore to do it.
Yeah, it's like a good 50% of it was like I'm just like trudging along.
The payoff in this book, because of all the setup that the author does, is like so good.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying.
Also I did hear in the second trilogy of Mistborn, it's like even quicker to pick up because there's less world building needed.
Yeah, because it's more modern.
Yeah,
society.
You already.
We know what cowboys are.
Yeah, like you already know the world.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see cowboys with metal magic.
Cowboy Bebop.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And like I like that stuff, like stuff that he like hints at early on actually comes to fruition, and like the lore that you learn matters.
Yeah.
He does a good job.
I mean, I will be reading Onyx Storm probably, so I'll let you know how that goes.
I'll probably read it for fun if I have time.
Yeah, it'll be like my side book.
Yeah,
probably.
just because I read the series, I'm like, I just want to know how it ends. Honestly, I'm curious.
Read the wiki or like
Spark
I'll
Notes
wait
version.
for the TLDR from y'all.
Yeah.
Like I'll write a book report for you guys. Don't worry.
Nice. All right. Are we gonna pick up the Well of Ascension, which is Mistborn number 2, right after for our next book club?
Yeah, I would assume.
All right.
Yeah,
keep the momentum going.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I think, are we available on the 8th?
Yeah, let me end the stream and then we can talk about the calendar dates and then I'll update that. But anyway, thanks all for watching and tuning in. Even if you didn't read the book, hopefully it makes you interested in it and you can pick it up yourself or follow along with us. But that is all for now. And that was The Final Empire. Yay!
Yay!
All right.
See you next week. Next time on Well of Ascension.
Yeah, on Well of Ascension.